Hey, social media writers. In this video, I want to show you a trick that you can do in Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, and possibly other social media platforms that connects not only to your final project for this course, but also to the readings that we're doing this week about sizing and working with images. So one of the things that is scariest in some ways about posting images to social media is not being sure that they're going to look the way that you want them to. So, one of the first readings I gave you this week was an article that talks about what the ideal sizes are for all the different social media platforms that your organization might choose to work with. It's really important that you be aware of the differences and that you try to match at least the ratios, if not the exact sizes, when you're producing images for different platforms. This can be kind of tedious because it means sometimes you have to recreate the image in multiple different sizes so that they work on the different platforms. And even when you do, one of the things that's frustrating is that you think you've done everything right. You put it into the actual social media account and you see it, and maybe the text is too that you put on the photo is too close to the margin, or maybe the way that you combine the photos distorts the photos and things get cropped out that you wanted to show. It just doesn't look as professional as you were hoping on the actual screen. Well, what's especially frustrating about that situation is that you don't find it out until the post actually goes live and you see it. Uh, so then all the world is out there to see it, and you have this thing on your page that doesn't look as professional as you wanted it to and doesn't maybe represent your organization in the light that you wanted it to. So the trick that I'm showing you today is one that I came up with to help me personally, but also the interns and the graduate assistants who work with me at Wildwood and at the UA Little Rock Grad School, to preview our posts in a place where it's safe, where nobody else can see them, so that we can make sure they look like what we want them to before we actually publish them to a place where the public is going to see them. I call this practice creating a sandbox page because, as you know, a sandbox is a place where you can kind of play around, you build castles, you knock them over again. It doesn't make any difference because it's not permanent. So this is the same concept, and it's actually something that I'm going to ask every single one of you to at least show me that you can do for this class, and then you may want to use it for your final project. Because let's say, for example, you're writing for a fictional organization or an organization that you don't have a real connection to in some ways, and you want to mock up what your social media is going to look like. Well, if you don't have permission to post on that organization's account, then you can't very well use that in your job portfolio to show employers what you can do as a social media content creator. But if you create a sandbox page, and if in the way that you put your sandbox page together makes it clear that this is not a public site, that this is for demonstration purposes only, it doesn't have any followers, so it doesn't go to anybody's feeds. This is a safe place that you can post things. Then you can look at them on your desktop, you can look at them on your tablet, you can look at them on your laptop, you can look at them on your phone, and make sure that it looks good in all the different formats before you then post it on a real page, if you have a real page to post on. Now, I'm going to suggest for this class that you think about possibly even having two sandbox pages. One that would be a sandbox page where you just experiment and you leave all kinds of crazy things up there, even if they're messy, just so you can compare and contrast how different posts look next to each other. The other one might be the page that you actually use for your final project and that you would show to employers, because there's another couple of big advantages of having sandbox accounts. Number one is that you can post information in the sandbox account and give the link to someone else. So even though the page doesn't have any followers, an employer still sees that stuff out there and can look and see your portfolio. They don't need any special access. They just need a Facebook account or a LinkedIn account or whatever platform you're using. And the other thing just went right out of my head. The other advantage. What was that advantage? I'm sure it'll come to me, because here in a minute, I'm going to actually show you how to create Oh, well, that's it, that it's free. And that along when you make one of these pages for free, it comes with all the powers that a business page would ordinarily have. So if you've never operated a business page before, you don't know what some of the tools are that are only available to business pages. There's a free scheduling tool, for example, inside Facebook that even links your Facebook and your Instagram and allows you to schedule stuff to both at the same time. But if you only have a personal page, you don't have that available to you. You don't have any of the advertising options if you have only a personal page. So in creating the sandbox page, one, you get a free place to experiment. Two, you get something that you can show to potential employers. And three, you get access to the business tools that you would only ever work with as a business and that you don't get to see otherwise. All right, let's actually go over to Facebook and let me show you how this works. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so here I'm logged into my Facebook account, and you'll remember that at the beginning of the semester, I asked all of you to create a Facebook page, whether you participate, or a Facebook account, whether you participate in Facebook regularly or not. And it's so that you can do this exercise. All right, so look up here in the right-hand corner where you see the little dial pad grid, the messenger, the notifications, and the profile picture. We're going to click this grid here. It says menu. And when it pops up, you'll see that you can create all different kinds of things. So here's where we're going to get to Meta Business Suite when we actually set up the account, and that's where you do your advertising and your scheduling from. But for right now, you want to be focused on this create menu. And we're going to come down here and we're going to create a page. Okay, so it's going to give you a preview of what stuff is going to look like over on the right. You're going to name the page. I always put sandbox in the title. So for example, I'm going to call this one University Avenue Sandbox. Just like I named my sandbox page for Wildwood, I named it Denny Road Sandbox because Wildwood is on Denny Road. It says you have to pick a category. This is interesting. This is new since I've been here. Well, that's interesting. So it's not even going to let me use the just for fun. I'm just type education, just for fun. Education website, sure. Bio, you don't have to put that in here again. This is a place, though, if the page is purely fictional, that I would write this. So I'm going to type this is an experimental page for students in writing for social media at UA Little Rock. Okay, so you need to be very clear about whether or not this is a real organization, a fictional organization, and whether or not you are officially representing the organization. This is a place for your disclaimers. Okay, so then I'm going to create page. Okay, you get a little message down here saying University Avenue Sandbox was created. Now you can add the details. Obviously, I'm not going to put the details in here for something that doesn't exist, but if you created a website as part of your final project for the class, this is a place where you could connect your website to the Facebook page. I'm not going to fill out anything about these hours, and I don't really care about the page health because I don't really want anybody to follow this page. I'm going to click next. Oops, click out of here. Okay, I would like you for your, if you use this for your final project, to go ahead and make it look like a real Facebook page. So go ahead and click here to add a profile picture. So that's what will appear in this little circle that represents the organization. Usually it's the organization logo. And then some kind of a cover photo. And as you know from our readings last week, when you pick images, they should somehow reflect either the brand colors or the theme. It needs to be something that you legally have the rights to post. So pick something that is going to help convey the brand personality of your organization. I'm going to skip this for now. I am not going to connect WhatsApp to this page. And I am definitely not going to invite any friends to join it. But you could invite classmates from this class if you want to, and you can definitely invite me as a viewer. You'll also be able to invite employers to view it, or you can just send them the link. Okay, do I want notifications? Sure. So then I click done. Okay, so right now, as you can see, not a whole lot to it. So from here, you'll be able to add all the kinds of things that give a Facebook profile its personality. And it wouldn't be a bad idea before you meet with me about your project proposal for you to have played around with some of these elements so that we can talk about what's working and not working. Now notice that once I've created a page, I can come over here back to the right-hand side where we were when we created it. Only this time I'm going to click this one that says U, which is the thing that's representing the University Avenue Sandbox page right now. Anywhere else I go on Facebook while I'm logged into that page is going to be, I'm going to be clicking things to like them as that page, following them as that page, etc. When you're ready to change back to your personal account, make sure you come up here and switch back to your other account. Or from here, you see I can switch to Wildwood Park or any of the other pages that I also help to run. So I'm just going to switch back to my personal account. Okay, and notice that when I do that and I'm in my personal account now, I can't make a post as University Sandbox. So I can't post as the organization yet. In order to do that, notice it says switch into University Avenue Sandbox page to start managing it. I can click that switch now button. And now it gives me a place where I can actually do the posting. So you can switch to it here, and sometimes you can actually switch to it on the page itself. And then you can begin posting on it just as if it were a real page. Now you can do this in LinkedIn as well. I'm going to shift over to the next tab and show you where that's located as soon as it loads. Okay, here we go. So here you see the little grid again, and it's located there just like it is on Facebook. I come in here. I can come down to create a company page, and basically you go through that same process again to create one on LinkedIn. And like I said, that's very powerful because once I do that, I can then put all kinds of posts in there to see what they look like. In fact, actually, let me go back to Denny Road real quick. Might as well show you what I'm doing here. Okay, so Denny Road isn't initially showing up. I click see all profiles. There it is. It knows I've been using that one a lot lately. And then I click on it up here to actually go to its page. So you'll see right here in the test page that I had one of my graduate assistants last year working on different cover images for the Health Education and Promotion program at UALR. This is the one that she left in. Have other people, here's Jillian testing out a post for thesis and dissertation defense information. And notice we're playing with different kinds of layouts so that we can see what's going to work best. And so if you want to scroll through these things, you can see lots of different tests to see. Like, for example, here's an example of what of image that I did for Peter Pan, where I posted this version that was actually a billboard for Lamar and decided that I didn't want to use it on Facebook because it doesn't take up very much room, so it doesn't catch people's attention compared to, for example, this one where the image is much bigger and therefore more eye-catching on the mobile view. So once you've posted something to your sandbox page, you can look at it, like I said, on the desktop and then look at it on your phone, and you'll be sure that what you want to see, you'll be able to make adjustments to it before you post it to a place that is going to be public. All right, so for this week, for one of your discussion assignments, I am going to ask you to create your first sandbox page. I want you to post a multi-image post like what I'm going to talk about in the other video in just a minute. And then I want you to share the link to your sandbox page with the class so that we can check out what you've created. Again, no pressure here. We're not expecting it to look super polished at this point. I'm literally just doing this to make sure that I see you can create a sandbox page and you can do a multi-image post. And then we'll worry about making it super attractive and professional when we're actually doing the final project. Okay? Be sure and email me at kmcaralt@ualr.edu if you have any questions about the information in this video. I will not be having office hours tonight, which is Wednesday, October 22nd, because I'm celebrating my birthday with my brothers and my dogs. But I will be back for regular office hours again starting next week, and you are always welcome to set up an appointment with me at a time that works for you. Okay, I have a separate video about multi-image posts. Have a great week, and I look forward to seeing your designs online soon. Take care.